So, what is the most oft-repeated question you get from your relatives when you're growing up? Any guesses? Yes, that's what I was looking for. What do you want to be when you grow up? What do you want to change when you grow up? But my question is this: why does a child have to effect change when he's grown up? Why can't he change anything when he's still young? Why do we have such a limited view towards our youth? And if you want the answers to these questions, hang on tight, because we are going on one wild roller coaster. A Life Science article in 2008 stated that teenagers and children cannot express empathy. That they do not understand and interpret what's happening in others' minds. In short, they cannot put themselves in others' shoes. Oddly enough, though, whenever we express our opinions on a certain idea or topic, especially if it has to do something with emotion, we are labeled to be extra sensitive, and we blame it all on our biologies, our body, and our minds. And when we try to take a stand, the nagging begins. What do you know? How do you know? And it is these questions that strike a crushing blow. It is these questions that shatter a child's dream. Let's take schools, for example. Schools have more rules than a cricket game. I mean, guys, do you have any idea how many rules that game has? In school, it's all about don't wear that shirt, don't brush your hair like that, don't wear nail polish, don't go play in the playground. You guys see what I did there? Broken rules. There's a broken ruler on my nose. And there's some broken rules also at the back. From the time we're 21, from the time we start talking till we turn 21, we have to ask permission to do anything. Anything. And that's because we have so many restrictions placed on us. And magically, on the morning of your 21st birthday, you transform into a mature adult. That sounds more like a Disney movie to me. My question is this: if we aren't given the chance to make these small choices and decisions, how do you expect us to enter colleges or get jobs? If we don't get the choice to study what we want and how we want, how do you expect us to rule the world, to contribute to it? In an elementary classroom, for example, the children are eager and excited. They want to answer questions. But as you move to higher grades, those hands get lesser and lesser till they totally disappear. And it is clearly evident that this happens because we are too afraid to say what we want to, because we are too afraid to make mistakes, let alone choices. And there are people in our society that don't accept the fact that our youth can do as much as our adults can, if not more. And it is this fact that puts a mental barrier in front of children. It is this fact that avoids them from chasing their dreams. Is this fair, I ask you? But on the brighter side, there are people around the world who want to help our youth. For example, the executive director of UNFPA, which is the United Nations Funds for Population Activities. She wants to help children in poorer countries reach their full potential. And that's really refreshing because I don't see that happening where I am. I don't see my parents or teachers pulling me up thinking that I can make a change. And that's why we need to let our students breathe. We need to let them make decisions and choices. Yes, they might not always be the best ones, but how else are we supposed to learn? How are we supposed to learn that our actions and decisions have consequences that we have to deal with? And when we are younger, we have adrenaline rushing in our blood. We are eager to take risks and we can leap. And that's something our teachers or parents or any adult cannot do. And that's because with age comes experience. And with experience comes wisdom. And with that comes anxiety regarding the decisions and their consequences. But when you're younger, it's the opposite. You take wilder decisions. You take wilder choices, and they might be right. And that's why I've compiled 4 ways in which our youth, or anyone, can try to make a change. The first thing that you can do is use the internet. Use social media, use Twitter, use Instagram, create a hashtag, and see how it spreads. For example, in the December of 2016, there was a sanitation hackathon in which the youth had to create web-based applications in improving sanitation utilities in Pakistan. And in a time and age when internet is so accessible, and we can use it so easily, and who's better at using it than us? The second thing that we should do is volunteer. Either big or small, difficult or not, we should not leave any opportunity. We should not leave any choice, because there's no one else to blame if you don't. Go ahead, chase that problem in your society, tackle it. For example, in this year, my peers and I went for a Diva competition in which we had to come up with ideas for a more sustainable Dubai. And in that, I saw ideas which had full potential. I saw ideas which are worth putting out into the world. And those ideas would not have come out if those creative young minds had not spoken up, had not taken that chance. And with volunteering comes inspiring others. And when you inspire others, you get friends and peers and colleagues. And they bring you help and support and fun. They push you forward to do something that you think you cannot do. And the last thing, the most important thing, is to remember to say, I can. Because these 2 words can flip your world around. What are you supposed to do when you want to undertake an idea? When you want to grasp an opportunity, but people keep telling you that you don't have the passion, that you cannot succeed? You say those 2 words. You say, I can. You have to seep in those words. Let those words seep into your mind. Let those words change you. Let those words transform you into the winner that you were meant to be. Try it. Go ahead. Think of something that you really wanted to do. Think of something that you really wanted to change. Anything. Keep it in the pocket of your mind. Now say this. I can do this. Say this in your mind, guys. I can do this. I can do this. I have the DNA of a winner. Repeat it. Say it. Mean it as you say it. If we use this in our daily lives, it can push us forward. Yes, it might not always be a huge push, but these tiny pushes can lead us to do something that we thought we could never ever do. Let's take the example of a young boy named Jack Andraka. Jack Andraka was 16 years old when he discovered a way to detect a deadly pancreatic cancer. And that was something that scientists in the whole world were struggling to do. He was inspired by the death of his family members, and he went to 200 researchers. 200, and he got rejected and criticized. But finally, in 2012, someone accepted his proposal. And that method was very, very accurate. And there was something that scientists were struggling to do, and a 16-year-old did it. That method was 90% accurate. That guy was just 16 years old. And we can do it. If he can do it, we can do it. I'm not saying that these tips should be religiously followed by all of us. We're all different. Some might want to inspire others. Others might want to volunteer. Some might want to prove someone wrong, like me. And I hope in these last few minutes, I've been able to change your view on our youth. I've been able to put in your mind that how a little push can drastically, dramatically change the course of the world. We need to stop asking, and we need to start demanding. We need to let the world sit up, and we need to let our voices be heard. But most importantly, we need to try to make a change. Thank you.